Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me again, Insane Gorilla, and welcome back to my channel. This is a Lord of the Rings one for Bel Crenel. Now, if you're wondering, wait, Lord of the Rings one, Bel Crenel, do I smell the Witch King coming up? No. Not just yet. I am actually going to be redoing that one. I just need to find the actual images first. But hey, this is going to be a Bel one from Lord of the Rings, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. But I want you to guess of what he actually is. Got some dirt there. Bloody hell. Anyway, we start off with Bel. Well, not with Bel, even though we know it's Bel. With a hooded figure, as you can see on the screen, walking around Orario, the capital city with the dungeon in it. He, or she, but we all know it's going to be Bel, is wandering around and, well, leaves the city because he's not actually a part of Hestia's familiar just yet. In all franklyhood, or for all godlyhood, the gods aren't there just yet. They haven't arrived. But Bel, or whoever knows who he is, leaves. Pretend you didn't see that, you guys. Leaves to, well, remove his cloak into revealing a fair form of his own from his cloak. An elf, to be precise. As he walks underneath a waterfall into a beautiful little land where a human stands, finely dressed, as she looks over to him, with the birds and wild animals living in harmony around her. As she looks to him, "Brother, so good of you to finally return to us. I assume everything there is going well." With Bel replying, saying, "Yes, dear sister, everything is going swimmingly." How long until you think we can join our subjects? We are the valar. We should never truly be joining our subjects. But when the time comes, dear sister, Allure himself may actually give us access to the world, so we can walk free among our subjects. Allure is calling us, brother. We must return. Agreed, dear sister. We shall return to our father, and we will await his next instructions. Is everything set? We can't have any mishaps, like the last world we helped create. That world was the beauty. This is the perfection. I hope you're right, dear brother. As am I, my dear sister. As they disappear back to Ranu, I think that's how you say his name, is, 5,000 years pass, and Bel is sent back with his dear sister, back to the same spot that they were to begin with. Sorry, I went a bit too far that time. As Bell and his sister. Okay, sorry about that, guys. As I was saying, Bill telling his sister, "We will return when the time is right. For now, return we shall." As they will leave, I believe I've already said this part. So, 5,000 years later, they return. As Bill and his sister go to the same place that they first arrived at. As Bill puts on the cloak, covering himself again, as his sister does the same. As they walk out to see Aurario, as Bell literally speaks to his sister in his own tongue, saying, "What a beautiful land it has turned out to be. So beautiful it is untrue. It looks like the city is massive, but does not protrude too far out into the countryside. The land reminds me of Arda, Middle Earth, as the people call it." As his sister would look at him, saying, "Indeed, we might need to find a Maya somewhere in here." "I doubt we'll find one here, sister. The people here look weird, if you ask me." As they both look around, because they're both wearing cloaks to keep their identities secret. As Bell walks into the shadows with his sister, they watch from the shadows to see people with cat ears and dog ears, a few with tails, some with animal features such as wolves, cats, bulls, you name it, you see it. Some elves and humans. Some really tall people, some really small people like dwarves, which they do see as well. They walk around because they are Arnals or Ardus. They do not need to actually eat. As they move through the city, seeing how things go and how things run, they see a man with lightning running down his fingertips. As they see a woman with a golden shield and a golden spear, with a massive group in front of them. As he proclaims, "I, Zeus of the Zeus familiar, and Athena of the Athena familiar, the gods and goddess of our familiars." As everybody listens to what Zeus says, "We are going on the grand quest to kill the 3 greatest monsters: the serpent, the behemoth, and the black dragon." Everybody hears this and cheers Zeus and Athena. As Bill and his sister see 2 other hooded figures in the crowd walk away, as they see the faces, It looked like two women. Yay. Goddess Loki and Goddess Freya as well. Sorry. Almost forgot their names. Oops. Pretend you didn't see that part. Well, Bel walks on through the shadows with his sister. Eventually, Bel takes off his hood and cloak and passes it to her, saying, "I'll be back. I'm just going to walk around in my fairness form. It's best to, well, keep up good appearances. The gods in here do not know that they are not true gods. There's only one god. Let's see how they will react to it when they finally realize. Be careful, brother. We can't risk revealing ourselves." "Don't worry, sister. I will be careful." As he walks out of the shadows, he walks straight into Zeus's familiar with Athena's. As he hears the final part. "Say goodbye to your families, because we'll be gone for a long time. And I don't think a lot of people will survive, but I am certain, because we are the strongest familiars, we will succeed." As they all leave, with Zeus walking past Bel, saying, as he whispers to his ear, "I don't think you realize you are not true gods." With Zeus's eyes widening, he turns around to see who whispered that, as he sees nothing. Nothing but a boy with white hair walking around, just hopping and skipping, even though it is actually Bel, acting like a child, which his sister finds not so amusing, but she can't help but start to laugh. But she keeps it to herself, luckily. Bel then walks back to the shadows, losing the form of a child, and, well, showing his fair form again, but decides to put the cloak back on, as his features all vanish. As he would say, that should throw this god through a loop. As they move back, Bel and his sister remove their cloaks again, as she says, "It's time for us to return. It appears father has seen enough. He must have been watching us. I'll make a request to see if we can send some Maya here. Perhaps the one they called the Gandalf, back in Middle-earth, as they now call it. I think he'll find that most entertaining. Him getting summoned away, then reappears here? I think not. I think it might be best to leave him for his rest. Don't you agree?" "I do indeed, sister." As they return to the one god of theirs, I can never remember his name, even though I said it earlier. My mind is stupid. Sorry. As they return to their god, or to their father, I should really be saying, with their father saying, "I send you, Bel, back down to the surface. You are will be one of my trusted down there. Regardless of what happens, you must always show respect. As you wish, Father. Now go. As he gets sent back down, once again, after 10 years. But this time, Wallenstein had already become a familiar. Well, already entered Arario. As he walks through the city wearing his cloak, he decides, I'll wait 5 years, then go into this dungeon. Even though I need a so-called familiar goddess, or whatever, I am an Alrul, or an Al... Hang on a minute, I will be back. Sorry. At that, I just realised I made a huge miscalculation. They are called the Valar. The Valar. Sorry. As Bill says, he is a Valar. Valar. So he does not need a goddess or a god to give around him gifts. So he sleeps for the next 5 years, then to reawaken to go into the dungeon. He sees all sorts of creatures, from ants to goblins to drakes to minotaurs to everything. He even notices crystals, when the creatures explode, are actually the currency, can be made into currency. And because he is a cloaked figure, and all you can see are the eyes, a lot of people think he is a monster. But whenever they try to attack him, their attacks phase through him. So they try to find his weaknesses. But eventually everybody gives up on trying to kill him. Until he, sees a minotaur attacking the young girl, 15 to be precise, as he watches from the sidelines, watching her dispatch it with ease. As she turns around to notice him, he turns away and walks off. As we all know its eyes. And she just stands there, dumbfounded that somebody was standing there watching, and just decides to turn around and walk away. As she tries to actually follow him to see what he's actually doing. As she just follows him and follows and follows, all the way to the entrance of the tower again, as he simply walks out, for only to vanish into thin air in front of everyone. But considering people are just busy minding their own business, they don't really notice, apart from Eyes, who's been following him. As she then walks round with not really much of a direction. She just walks around trying to find stuff to do. And yes, what happened in canon happened, with everything. But Laura, as Belle, decides he's going to take his elf form, as he reveals it, but clad in not so fabulous fabulous looking armour. He makes it look like he is poor and weak and inexperienced. He makes it out so well. But people don't really take pity on him, they just laugh at him. This is what Bell kind of feels angered, but calms himself, saying that mortals will always make fun of things that they do not understand. But because I am a valar, I will never strike them down, per father's orders and wishes. This Bell would get up and move away, pretending to be disheartened. But that is where he bumps into someone. As she says, "Hello, how are you?" As Bell would look up to her. She would look down at him with a smile. As Bell would just say, "Hello, miss. I didn't see you there. Sorry." As she would just say, "It's all right, child. It's not your fault. I am kind of hard not to see, but it's not your fault. Sorry, madam." As he would move to one side, allowing her to pass. As she would just say, "I've got a proposal for you." "Ma'am, we've only just met." "Not in that way." "Oh, sorry. My name is Goddess Hestia, and I was wondering if you would like to become my first familiar member." Bell thinking about this in his head for a bit, saying, "I'm a valar. I don't need a goddess, but should I?" I accept your offer." As Hestia would smile, saying, "Good. Please, follow me, my child." As Bell would take a hand as he would move with her, hiding his presence as a valar very well, to the point where even his brothers and sisters think that he has actually been killed. As they send another valar down, his sister, the one who was always here with him, she actually goes to search for Bell. As Bell senses her presence and raises his pressure a little and drops it, then sends it up and down in a sort of a message way, saying, "Father sent you. Tell him I'm all right. I've just dropped my pressure so much to make it seem like I am weak. I'm still alive. Please, sister, inform everyone that I am okay." As she would raise her pressure in agreement, as she would then vanish from the world. Hestia would feel this kind of pressure, but couldn't really place her finger on it. And she would look to Bell, as Bell would kind of have this worried look. And she'd say, "Did you feel that amount of pressure?" As Bell would sigh in his head in a relief way, as he would just say, "Not really. What pressure are you talking about? I'm kind of under pressure being in my first ever familiar." With this lie slipping his mouth as he tries to contain his composure, as Hestia buys into the lie, as she takes him to her Humble abode, the church. As Belle then walks in, saying, "Ma'am, this place is awfully run down. Do you want me to start repairing?" As Hestia would just say, "No. I don't worry about the building or anything. It's just how I bought it. I'm slowly repairing it. It just takes a lot of time. Ma'am, I could possibly help with that? Are you a mason?" No. And unfortunately, if you're not a mason, you can't really help. Well, hell, even a builder at this point. But they cost a lot to make, cost a lot to hire and to rebuild something. Even my godly stature can't make them do it willingly. You have to pay them. It's a rule all of us gods have made. Okay. Anyway, turn around, please, and reveal your back. What? You're part of my familiar, so I need to put my familiar mark on you. Could you do it to my arm instead of my back? We have leveling systems, so the leveling system has to be on the back of someone. Okay. This is strange. Why the hell would someone have a leveling system? Oh well. As Hestia would put her finger down his back, as he would feel her blood running down his spine. As she would say, after like 2 seconds, "There you go. The mark is there, so you are now officially part of the Hestia familiar. The first one, to be precise. Thank you, Goddess Hestia." Still keeping the disguise of him being poor and a little bit skittish. As Hestia would smile, saying, "No need to thank me, I'm just doing my godly duties." As Belle would just say, do I need to go and get myself a weapon?" As Hestia would say, "Yes, but only take one that you feel comfortable using." As you wish, Goddess Hestia." Sorry for the long pause just then. As Belle would leave Hestia and go to, well, a shop, as he would buy himself a short sword. As he would say, "I know I've got my real sword, but I need to still keep it and make it look like, again, that I am poor. I'm a valar, I should not be doing this, but oh well. I've got to keep my composure and also make it look like I am part of a familiar. I am using my human form, not my elf form." No, sorry, I said he was using his elf form, duh. As he would return to Hestia, saying, again, in a scared sort of way, I have returned, Goddess Hestia. I have bought myself a weapon." As Hestia would look at him, saying, "Good. Do you know how to use it?" No, I don't. Sorry, Hestia, I don't." "It's okay, my child. It's okay. My name's Belcrenel, madam." "Okay, well, Belcrenel, since I know your name now and you know mine, you can call me by my first name, Hestia." "Okay, Hestia. Goddess, Hestia. It's, well, a few months pass with Belle constantly going into the dungeons, slowly but surely being able to kill creatures. As Belle also makes it out to be that he's slowly becoming more confident within himself. As he senses his sister. What the hell? There we go. As he senses his sister, as he tells his goddess, he just has to leave for a quick bit. He believes he may have forgotten something. As he quickly bolts to where his sister is. As he gets there, he says, "Sorry about me being late, sister." As she would look at him and laugh, saying, "What are you doing in that strange outfit of yours? Let me guess, you had to make yourself look stupid. Just to mingle?" "No, I've become a familiar member to a lower life form. A so-called goddess. A valar taking orders from a lower life form. How low can I go?" "So that's why Father felt something off about you. You've been here for months, being an adventurer. Well, it's got its perks. I don't have to sleep on the floor, at least. Even though we Valar don't really need to sleep, but oh well. Got to keep up appearances and that." "True. So tell me, brother, how would you like a fellow Valar to come down here? To give you more company?" "I would love it, but I must keep composure. If another Valar turns up out of nowhere, people will start getting very, very suspicious. People are already getting a little bit suspicious of me, but I am somewhat managing to keep them guessing." "Who? Who's getting suspicious of you?" "Other god and goddesses. Other gods and goddesses. I don't know. Quite a few civilians too." As well, they continue talking. Someone accidentally sees them. As she, aka Eyes, listens into their conversation. As Belle is saying, "With people getting suspicious of me, sister, tell our Valar brothers and sisters, and tell Father that I may need a quick exit plan. Could you tell them, please? I dare not risk going up to him myself, just in case this mark disappears on me." And she would just say, "Don't worry, brother. I will tell him. You are Valar, so you can always get rid of it when you need to. I know. I feel a sense of duty to stick to my, place here now. I don't know why, but I feel like I should stay. Ask Father if he can make me a Morai or Melora. Make me a Mariah to serve underneath my fellow Valars. I'm sorry, brother, but I don't think he will accept that. You're just going to have to keep your Valar powers under wraps until the time is right to reveal your true self. I agree, sister. And thank you for coming at such an opportune time. It gives a great opportunity for me to give my reports in. But now I must be leaving, and so must you. I sense someone is nearby and has been listening in to our conversation. I feel it as well, brother. Please, deal with it. We can't get exposed this quickly. Agreed, sister. And good luck. You too, brother. As she would disappear, as eyes would quickly start trying to run, only to find out that Bell is already in front of her, as he would point his sword at her, saying, "State your business for following me." This was a meeting between true gods and goddesses. I suggest you tell me quickly before I sever your head from your body. Wallenstein. As she would look at him in horror, as she would say, "You're Bell, right?" "Indeed, that's me. Now tell me, what makes you so authoritarian for you to listen in to my conversation with my sister? Or should I say, one of my sisters. You mortals should really learn your place. Don't judge me for what I say, human. I am far more powerful than the gods combined of this world. If I am more powerful than your gods, what would you think all my brothers and sisters' powers could be? If I'm more powerful than the gods, try having all them on this planet that we had created. His eyes, Wallenstein's eyes, actual eyes, would widen as the horror of her actually speaking to the one of her creators, as she bows before him, saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I shouldn't have been here to begin with. Good. At least you know your place. But please, keep this between us. But if I ever catch you listening in to another conversation of ours again, I will be killing you. No hesitation. Do I make myself clear? And please, keep the existence of the Maya and the Valar secret. I don't think your gods and goddesses will understand that they are not true gods. They are only a byproduct of the world." "Yes, my lord. And don't call me lord either. I hate fancy titles. I prefer just to be called Bell." As he would walk off, vanishing into thin air, his eyes would literally stare into space, saying, I think my life just became a living hell. If Loki figured out that she weren't an actual god, or hell, any of them were not actually gods, there'll be a global panic. Great. As well, Bell actually arrives back in Aravia again. Yes, they were actually outside the city. As he walks back into Goddess Hestia's little church, as he would see Hestia getting ready for a god meeting, as Bell would ask, obviously acting like a familiar member, As he would ask her where she was going, and she would say, for a meeting of gods. She'll be back later on today. As he would say, I understand, and I will be in the dungeon, getting more money. As she would smile, saying, thank you, Belle. As Belle would bow, saying, my pleasure, goddess Hestia. And she would walk out. As Belle would see the door close and her shadow walk away. Waiting for 5 minutes, he sighs, saying, acting as a weak and pathetic mortal is certainly tiring and taxing on my mind. Oh well, I can't really do anything about it. Let's just hope Hestia is a lot denser than she appears. I shouldn't really be saying this about a goddess, in quotations, but she is certainly not the brightest tool in the shed. And that's saying something. I thought Morgoth was stupid, but she's just worse than Morgoth. Oh well, off to this dungeon to kill weak monsters that could never kill me to begin with. As he would walk off back into the dungeon, as he would meet a unexpected sight. Anyway, guys, I'm leaving it here. And just let you know what I was talking about yesterday. Could you please comment on this video instead about what hero society you would want it to be in? A hero academia universe question that I asked yesterday. Ignore that, please. If the hero society was real life today, what would you prefer it to be? And please, as I said in the last one, please take your time in commenting. Don't rush yourself, because if you rush yourself, you'll make yourself look like an absolute buffoon. So please, take your time. Peace, and see you all in the next one.